Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading for Monday, March 25th, 2019. So in these general readings, we look at the next 7 days ahead, and we try to find themes, see what's going to happen, what to expect, give you a kind of idea about what to kind of look out for the next 7 days, all right? I do post these every Monday, but they are timeless. You don't have to be watching this on March 25th, 2019 in order to get something out of it. Just apply it to the next 7 days, okay? And when you're ready for another one, I post these weekly, okay? That said, if there's anything you need to know about me, including the timestamps, you can find that in the description. Of course, these are general public readings. If you would like to have a private reading, I can get into a lot more detail if you want to order one. I do provide readings at every price point, so it shouldn't be hard to find one that would match your, a good price for you and all of that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to say that. That said, let's go ahead and name the piles, right? Number 1 is the purple butterfly. Number 2 is the pink butterfly. Number 3 is the green butterfly. Number 4 is the blue butterfly. Number 5 is the white butterfly. And number 6 is the red butterfly. While you guys are picking your pile, I also wanted to say if you have any ideas for a pick-a-card reading, you can either email me, my email's below in the description, or you can leave a comment on here. Either me or my communications manager, Shannon, will see those and will add them to my list. And if you have asked for one, it's on the list, and I'll get to it, okay? And I will send a message back to people, or Shannon will, if there's a suggestion that just I can't do for whatever reason, okay? So I just wanted to also say that. So I'm done wasting your time. We're gonna go ahead and start with pile number 1. Those of you who haven't picked, go ahead and pause the video. And those of you who have, we're starting with pile number 1, the purple butterfly. Okay, so those of you who pick pile number 1, here's what to expect in the next week. Okay, so we have the house and a mountain, okay? We have the world, temperance, and death. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is 4 major arcana cards, and then we also have masquerade. Okay, here's the way that I'm gonna read this. We're gonna start with the tarot. First off, it's like something is gonna, it's weird. I feel like these go together, okay? Something is going to come to the point, it's like, it's not an ending so much as it's like a culmination, right? Where you finally get what you want in a situation, okay? And I feel like for those of you who pick this pile, this is a big situation, okay? It could be work, it could be romance, it could be, maybe you're gonna sell your house, we've got a house here, it's gonna be something big, okay? In this particular reading, I think for the most part, death is actually referring to like an ending. You can be at peace with this because now you have it all, right? And then now all you have to do is just kind of keep it balanced, it's like that's all you have to do with it now, you've got it, that kind of thing. For some of you, you might need to make a change in order to make that happen. Either way, it's happening this week, okay? So if there's something you're kind of on the fence about and you know that it's something you've really wanted for a while and all of that kind of good stuff, try to go after it this week because, everything looks very fortuitous for that, okay? But we do have the masquerade card coming out that lets us know to be very careful about who you trust. There might be something that is being kept secret from you. In this case, it could be malicious, or it could just be something like somebody throwing you a surprise birthday party, but it's just, there's something being hidden from you. Because I just got that it could be somebody has feelings for you and they don't want to tell you. Although I think that that's not for most of you. I think for most of you, it has to do more with just somebody who's being deceitful. If I had to pick who it would be, I would say it's probably somebody from your family, because we also have this that's kind of reiterating this, where we've got an obstacle at home, okay? We've got an obstacle with your family. The house represents family, and by that I mean blood family, okay? And it can also represent, you know, that kind of sacred space that's like your own place, like intimacy, right? So either way, we've got an obstacle that has to do with either your family or with inside of yourself, okay? Your own inner castle, right? And the reason I mention that is that houses can sometimes, like in dreams, they often represent the psyche. So for example, the basement might represent your unconscious, and the attic might represent your superconscious, you know, that kind of thing. That said, either a family member is going to try to get in your way, or there's something inside of you that's getting in your way from something. Given that we've got a masquerade, this is outward directed, you know, this isn't inward directed. I feel like somebody you know might be being deceitful or hiding something from you that's in your family. I feel like for most of you guys, you're going to kind of have a good idea about who this might be, though, because I think you're already kind of suspecting it. You know, just somebody just acting a little bit weird, or, you know, that one difficult family member, or 10 if you happen to have a really difficult family, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it could be something like that. I really think that this is like kind of like a side thing, though. You know, this is kind of like, oh yeah, and by the way, just be aware of this, because I think the biggest focus here is on this culmination, on this finally coming together in some kind of endeavor that you've been working at for a while, okay? It's a big deal, all right? So, looks like you've got an exciting week ahead. All right, those of you who picked the pink butterfly, pile number 2, here is your reading. We have the sun and the dog. I love that. We have the Fool, okay, the 4 of Wands and the 5 of Wands, and we've got Castle. Alrighty, so, one thing that's coming out right now is that you've got, those of you guys who picked this pile, you've probably got something, you know, you've probably been feeling a little insecure about something, okay? Or it's been feeling like you can't really calm down, you know, or that there's this kind of feeling like there's some kind of perpetual negativity and you just want to have a break. That's going to be this week, okay? We have that with the castle. The castle protects you. It's a sanctuary. It prevents that negativity from getting in. You'll be able to rest. You'll be able to kind of regroup. It's echoed with the 4 of Wands. See how that looks like a building? 4s represent the 4 walls, the 4 corners, you know, the 4 cornerstones of a building. And they often have to do with structure. Just think of in the major arcana, those of you who are familiar with the tarot, the Emperor is number 4, and he enforces rules, and he's, you know, that masculine presence in the world, right? You have such a good friend that you're going to be spending some time with this week. It's great. If you have a crush, or if you're interested in a friend, this might be the week where you might get an indication that they have feelings for you, possibly. Know that if there is any kind of miscommunication between the two of you, if you feel like there's somebody says something, and they're your friend, there's somebody that you care about, and you feel like they're mad at you, or maybe that they're trying to poke fun of you, or anything like that, it is not meant to be like that. It is meant to be playful. They have no idea that they're hurting your feelings. If that happens, I think this card's not going to apply to everybody. The Fool lets us know that because you're going to have this like structure, okay, right here, and because you've got such a good friend here, you're going to be able to start planning this new thing that you're going to do, okay? It could be having a relationship with this friend, or it could be something completely different, you know? It could be something like working from home, or it could be, you know, there's so many different things that it could be, you know? But there's just something new. It's going to be major. You'll probably know what it is because, you know, when we get a major arcana card, we know that it's, you know, it's a big deal. You know, it's something you probably are aware of. So this week is going to be very smooth for you. You know, as long as you remember just not to take things too seriously when people say, somebody might say something that might be a little hurtful or like, wait, what? You know, that kind of thing. You know, be mellow about it. So, yeah. All right, those of you who picked the green butterfly, here is your reading. I have this glitter nail polish and I keep getting glitter on this. I don't even know. Ugh. I probably should have never put glitter nail polish on. Okay, so we have the Coffin and the Moon. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, we've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the Devil, and we've got Ruler of the Realm. Wow. You have some pretty major energy going on. Let's go ahead and start. You know what? Let's go ahead and start here with the Lenormand. Usually I like to start with the tarot, but this is actually going to make more sense this way. Okay, so you've got some kind of ending, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. Just you've got some kind of ending, and that ending is actually going to get you a little bit of recognition. It might get you like a little bit, like people are going to take notice of you because of this thing that's ending. And you know, so what I'm thinking, for example, is that it's like, oh, I finally completed my album, and now I'm going to put it out, and people are like, ooh, this sounds good. This is a good, solid album. You know, it would be like that, you know, or maybe it's like you finally submitted a scientific paper to a science journal, and they've decided that they're going to publish you. And, you know, within the scientific community, people are like, wow, you've really, you know, it doesn't have to be that big though. It could be that you've finished, I don't know, maybe you finished a baby quilt for somebody you know who's going to have a baby, and they are going to tell all their friends, like, you know, how awesome you are at knitting or crocheting, right? It could be something like that too. You know, it doesn't have to be something that is so associated with fame. But it's like people are going to recognize you. You're going to be, you know, you're going to be, you know, feeling pretty good about that. You also might notice that you're feeling a little emotional this week. It's okay. That's not going to be a big deal. But just know that if you're a little bit more in tune with your emotions this week, and it's kind of scary and a little bit weird for you, just know that's all right. We've got the Queen of Cups here, you know, and she is also a very emotional person. You know, she's very aware of her emotions, her depth and all of that. Just know that it carries some information for you that you can, you know, you can explore your situations with. You know, when I feel afraid or when I feel happy, you know, that's giving me information about what's going on around me. And I can use that information to know, like, okay, I'm scared here. Maybe there's something that I'm picking up on, you know, in my heart that I'm not picking up on in my mind that's actually, you know, wrong in this situation, for example, you know. So keep that in mind. I'm only explaining for those of the viewers though that are like me and don't really get in touch with their emotions as well. So yeah, so we've got Ruler of the Realm. One thing that's really good about this card is that we've got somebody in your life, or just the energy in your life of making sure that there's structure and order, okay? So that should, if you're the kind of person who thrives on that, you should be feeling really good this week. Now, if you're the kind of person where structure and order kind of boxes you in, just know that, you know, you're going to be held like accountable to certain things, right? You're gonna, like, to certain standards or maybe deadlines, or maybe, you know, it's gonna be like that, or maybe somebody's gonna ask you to like kind of tone down your awesome personality or something, you know, something like that. It feels a little stifling maybe, for those of you who are like that. Just know that this is just for the next week, okay? All right. So the Wheel of Fortune, your luck's going to change. If you've been having some really great times, you know, it might kind of go a little sour this week. If you've been having some pretty turbulent times, things are going to be looking way up. The Queen of Cups is just an echo of some of the energy with the Moon card here, where you're going to be examining your feelings a lot lately. This week, you're going to be aware of your emotions, and you might be a little bit more sensitive than usual. Now, the Devil card, given that we've got the structure, given that we've got the fame, and given that we've got the emotions, I feel like the Devil card would be like a situation where you might feel a little bit prideful or self-indulgent. Okay, you might over-attach to your emotions this week, for example. The devil can sometimes talk about addictions like that. So be sure to check yourself to make sure that you're, not over-identifying with things, Just understand that when I say that, I don't mean don't feel your feelings. I just mean don't escalate your feelings, if it's messing with your equilibrium, Another thing with the devil card here is that I also feel like it could be coming up to let us know that you might be doing some shadow work, and it might be why you're a little bit more emotional is just because you're looking at some dark places of yourself, inside of yourself, it might feel a little bit weird to end something, whatever it is that's ending. And it might be like, well, wait, what's next? And so you're looking at kind of a dark place inside of yourself. This happens to so many people when they finish college. It's really ridiculous. It's like they've dedicated all of their time to making sure that they get that degree, and then once they get it, it's like, well, what now? It like feels weird, and that would definitely be like for a really good example of something ending and then having a kind of a crisis as a result. Now, this isn't the Tower, but it is kind of like looking within, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, it looks like this is a really balanced week, and it looks like you guys are going to be able to do some major work on yourselves this week. So it looks like it's positive, okay? Alrighty. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 4, the blue butterfly, here is your reading. Oh, we've got the book and the heart. Interesting. We've got the star, the 7 of cups, the hanged man, and time flies. Wow, you guys. This is supposed to be a general reading, but sometimes we get readings that indicate, this week maybe you might be focusing on love more than other things. Let's go ahead and start with this, though. But this is very good, okay? I'm not gonna, I don't want to dismiss it. We'll get there, though. Let's start with the star, okay? So the star can sometimes be like a calling, right? It can be an alert that something important's about to happen. Understand that... like, for example, right before Julius Caesar came home to Rome from, I believe it was Ireland. No, it was right after he passed away. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the wrong thing. I am not very good at my history, is getting things right. But yeah, right after he passed away, there was a shooting star in the sky, right? And it gave people this idea that either that was Caesar that was like kind of sending a message, or it gave them an idea that, this or that was going to happen. Meanwhile, back in Alexandria, people who, the Egyptians saw it, and they thought that it was a sign that Cleopatra was going to become queen of the Romans as well. So it's interesting because basically what I'm trying to say is that the star can sometimes denote a major thing about to occur, right? It can be a signal that, hey, something big is about to happen. And this has been, and the reason I mentioned something that's that old, in history is to give an example of this has been interpreted this way for thousands of years, right? The traditional way of looking at this card, though, is its direction and fate, right? So basically the star is letting us know that this is going to be a very fated week. It's going to feel like things are syncing up, so you might experience a lot of synchronicities or coincidences, things like that. Or it might feel like you finally see true, that you have something that you haven't seen true previously. The 7 of Cups is like either you're going to have to make a choice, or it could be referring to this situation, telling you that somebody's fantasizing about you, okay? Let's go ahead and put these together because I think it makes a little bit more sense this way, getting new direction, new inspiration, awakening, like being alert to this new kind of truth or whatever. Then you've got the Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective. It's like, ooh, I see something now, right? Okay, and then, you might have to make a decision, or maybe somebody's fantasizing about you. This is the card for me that can go either way, so that's why I'm saying both of them. time flies. This is a really interesting one. This week's going to go by really quickly because you're going to be happy. It's just going to be a really great week for you. So let's get back over here to the book and the heart. So this is the love card in the Lenormand, okay? So we have a secret being revealed about love this week, okay? I feel like somebody's going to come forward and tell you that they have feelings for you, okay? Understand that this is a spine, and this is where the book opens. It might be kind of hard to tell from the picture, but when the opening is facing the subject that we're talking about, it lets us know that it's going to be revealed. If it was put like this, then we would say, ooh, there's a secret, somebody, like a secret admirer, or somebody's keeping their love a secret, Then in this way, it's like somebody's going to open up about their love, okay? So that'll be fun, So keep that in mind. Looks like you're having a really interesting week. Really, really interesting week. Alrighty. So pile number 5, those of you who picked the white butterfly, here is your reading. So we have the birds and the mice, the Page of Swords. We have the 2 of Wands, the 10 of Coins, and the interlude. Okay, so it's like right now is a time to kind of pause and like get your bearings, right? That's what the interlude means in this particular spread. It's like, take a pause and like look around and see what is it that you need to focus on this week, okay? Because you're going to be more the commander of your week this week than anybody else. This lets me know that if you've been experiencing gossip, okay, there's going to be an end to that gossip, or a rumor maybe, about you or about somebody you care about. That's going to stop this week, okay? Another thing that this might mean also is that people chattering, like maybe people chatting with you or people sending you text message, there's not going to be as many text messages, okay? That's not going to be true for all of you though, okay? I just want to mention that because I am getting that some of you are going to be experiencing like people aren't contacting you as much, but it would be like electronic, okay? And that might bother you, and I just wanted to let you know that's okay. That's supposed to happen this week. Everything will be fine. You're going to be getting some new ideas, and you're going to want to like kind of write them down or keep track of them somewhere because they're going to be good. I don't feel like you're going to act on them this week, but I do feel like you've got some really solid ideas that you could really expand on later on, okay? We also have the 2 of Wands. This can denote long distance, but it can also denote traveling, okay? So maybe you're planning a trip this week. Another thing that this can show us is that there's maybe a change in job, okay? It can let us know that maybe I'm sorry, I just went blank. Yeah, okay, sorry. Maybe, maybe there's like something that you're waiting for that's finally going to come to you, all right? So this has a lot of different meanings. I think for most of you, though, it's going to have to do with, it's going to be kind of like this new idea. It's going to be like you're going to get something from far away, okay? Gosh, that's so vague. But I mean, that's the best way to put it. Some of you, though, I think are planning a trip. Okay, it's just that simple. The 10 of Coins lets me know that this week you're going to be feeling like you're in abundance. Okay, maybe you just got a little bit of a raise, or maybe you want to get rid of something, and so you're selling it, and you end up getting what you're asking for it instead of having to go down your price. That kind of thing. This is showing that trade, is going to be positive. It could talk about somebody giving you a kind of expensive, nice gift as well. Okay, so it looks like you have a really like kind of smooth week this week. Okay, alrighty. Okay, hi pile 6. Those of you who picked the red butterfly, here's your reading. Okay. All right. So we've got the Queen of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, okay? We have Polaris. This is referring to the North Star, okay? We have the Tower, and we have the Whip and Broom. So I want to start with the Lenormand. Usually we start over here. I want to start with the Lenormand. We've got the Tower. This represents an institution, and then we've got the Whip and Broom. That represents like tedium, like doing chores, basically. You know, things that you do over and over again. There might be some very menial tasks at work that are going to kind of take up your time, you know, because we've got this institution. You know, there might be something like very nitpicky that you're going to have to do for work, or some kind of task that you're going to have to do by yourself, because the Tower also represents isolation. Just know that I mean, all I can really say is that's coming. You know, for some of you guys, this might just be about spring cleaning, you know, getting your castle taken care of. It's just something that came to mind intuitively. So just, you know, keep in mind there's going to be some boring stuff. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. There's going to be some boring stuff this week. You know, one thing that I can say about this kind of energy, though, is that when when I've worked other jobs and had to do like accounting or, you know, stuff like that, I've found that I kind of, like, I focus so hard that I kind of get into this meditative state, and it can sometimes be a really nice experience for me. So, you know, try to find that zone, you know, for those of you who are like, oh, great, you know. So we've got the star, we've got the North Star. You're going to be getting some new direction. And that makes sense here when we've got the Three of Wands. We've got somebody looking out, you know, in the distance, you know, and it's like they're looking for something, right? Looks like they're waiting for something. They're looking for something. This could also represent long distance relationships. Not in every situation, obviously, but I just want to mention that. This is about creativity, though. Both of these cards is about creativity and direction and taking action, okay? I don't necessarily think that the time for action would be this week. For some of you, it might. But it's just that you're going to get an idea that you're going to want to act on that's going to be very, very, like, it's going to stir you inside. You're going to feel passionately about this thing, okay? The Page of Pentacles is just letting you know that you're starting to get some things like together in the physical world. This could be manifesting your dreams. It can also refer to starting a new business venture, something like that. I feel like for most of you, this is just having to do with manifesting, okay? It's just getting things in order in the physical world. It could also have to do with spring cleaning, actually. Then we've got the Queen of Swords, okay? I like the Queen of Swords a lot. Not everybody sees her the way that I do. But when I think about the Queen of Swords, I think about a person who is able to balance their logic and their emotion at the same time, you know, because we've got the Queen, she's got that feminine energy, she's got that intuitive, you know, nurturing, you know, love feeling, okay, that that femininity brings, right? But she's also in the Suit of Swords, okay? So it's like a balance between those two things, you know. I really feel like this is describing you, regardless if you're female or male, okay? Regardless of what you identify as. It's just referring to the idea that you're gonna enjoy a balanced mind and heart this week. They're gonna be lining up. What you feel and what you think are gonna be aligned, so your feelings are gonna make sense, that kind of thing. Ready? Okay. Thank you so much for those of you who stayed to the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are just, you know, growing my channel and doing so much to help me in all of my creative endeavor. It's great because you are giving me the ability to see that what I'm doing is making a big difference in the world. You know, something I forgot to say at the very beginning is that I did use a different card deck this week. It's called the Chronicles of Destiny Fortune Cards, and isn't this a neat packaging? We've got, it's like a book, and you open it up, and there's the cards, and there's a book somewhere that would go here. and just wanted to show you guys that you know, I was really excited to use the deck because it's a really interesting deck. Those of you who like myth and fairy tale would probably really like it too. That said, you know, every single like and subscribe, every single comment, I just love it. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful to me. And I celebrate each and every one of you. I'm just so happy that you guys are enjoying my content, and you'll be able to see more tomorrow with a pick a card reading.